Hello everyone. So welcome to the channel of RD Automation Learning. So today we are going to give the answer to the query, can I apply into an IT company with a fake experience? Right. So we are going to discuss about the background verification that is done and how via background verification the company comes to know whether you have given a fake experience or it's a genuine experience. Right. So this would be the agenda of today's videos. And yes, if you are watching this video for the first time, so please do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Right. So let's come to the question. Now, many people are sending me an email. Also, we had uploaded one video last month, whether it is possible or not to apply into a company or get a job into a company via fake experience. Right. So many people are commenting like how the company or how the employer will come to know. And is it okay if we can apply with a fake experience? Okay. Now, what does background verification do? Whenever you apply into a company, you clear all the interview rounds, you get an offer letter from them. So they will start the background verification also. In the background verification process, there are multiple checks that are done. It can be done by the company in which you are going to do a job, or it can be done by a third party vendor or any third party agency who is going to take care on the behalf of your employer. In in this background verification, the very first check would be done with respect to your education. Whatever graduation in which university you have specified, they will be calling them, they will be contacting them, and they will be coming to know whether you have done this particular kind of graduation program, this particular kind of degree certificate you have got from that particular college or not. Right. This is one of the check. Second check is about the criminal records. Right. The third check is about, the employer in which you are working. Right. So for example, if you have mentioned that you were working in some particular XYZ company from January 2021 to December 2021, so 1 year. So they will give a call to that particular employer and they will ask, okay, whether this particular person was working over there or not. Now, if you have mentioned, so basically you can see in the background verification with respect to employer, what is going to get checked is about the tenure in which you had actually worked in that company, your position, your designation is going to get checked. So whatever roles and responsibilities you have kept, whether you are doing manual testing over there, you are doing automation or API testing, to that level, it is not going to get checked. But yes, the tenure of the duration of your job, the duration of your service you did over there, that is going to get checked. Apart from that, these days, companies like Emphasis, TCS, they are filtering the fake experience by demanding the bank based salary statement. Right. So bank statement they are demanding. For example, if you have already done a job in some particular, for example, TCS company, and you are telling, and it is a fake experience, and you are telling you had worked over there for 1.5 or 2 years. So they will demand you the bank statement of that particular duration. They want to see whether you have actually worked over there and the salary was credited during that particular time or not. So this is again a very key thing, right? Because see, over here also you can tell that the bank account has been closed. You are no longer, working with that particular company, so bank account is closed. But then they might also tell you to submit the paper by going to the bank and requesting the bank to get some kind of statement because already you are an account holder of that bank. This is one of the background check. This is one of the document that you need to provide as a sort of background verification. Now, if you don't have this particular document, so you won't be allowed to move further, even though you might would have cleared all the interview rounds with a very good, all your answers, your interview would have gone 8 or 9 out of 10. But if such documentations are not provided, then they won't allow you to move further. Another kind of a check that, it's not a background verification check, but again, it's related to the documentation. They might also ask you the PPF passbook, right? Now, many of you know that, in any company you work, there is some X amount that is being paid by the employer, some X amount it is being contributed from the employee side, and whatever is there, this is, it's a kind of provident fund, right? EPF, PPF, and the people who are working in some company, they can get avail this particular amount, but at the same time they can also see these kind of details in the passbook, right? So there is actually a website in which you can go and check the uh, passbook whether the amount has been credited or not for this particular month. So the employer these days, they are also asking you to provide the documentation with respect to the PF amount that was credited. So you have to provide them the passbook details, a kind of a statement, so they can come to know, okay, they have got the amount credited from this particular company during this duration. So that's a kind of a proof that this particular person was working in this particular company for this particular duration. So this is how one more, documentation that has been asked these days. Now, let's say if you put a fake experience in the CV, for example, you are not working, but you put a fake experience that you are working in this particular company, right? You might get an interview call, you might get selected as well, right? Let's think positive. Let's think from a happy path scenario, from all the perspective, first of all. You get selected. But when you will be asked for such kind of documentation, then they won't entertain any such things further because they are not getting the desired documents from their end, right? And this particular bank statement is just a one sample example that I gave you. I had a word with multiple recruiters and hiring manager, and I got this information, right? And this is actually happening, right? So this is one thing. Then PPF is another thing, right? Now coming to the aspect, if you haven't mentioned anything that from this particular year to this particular year you are not working, so whether employer can get those details or not, so that is not possible. Whatever you have mentioned in the CV, whatever you have mentioned in the resume, those things would be checked, those things would be done as a part of background verification. Now there are again two scenarios. During background verification, it might happen that you are still not given a job, or it might also happen that you have actually started working, and after 2 or 3 months the companies or your manager comes to you and they tell you that you are no longer a part of this job because they haven't found your background verification uh, green, right? So there are terms which are used with respect to BGV check. Green means everything is good, green signal, they will be moving ahead with you. Red means they cannot move ahead with you due to some particular reasons, right? So it might also happen that you have got a job, you for 2 to 3 months you have already started working over there, and now the employer might come to know, and they will again tell you to leave the job, they will fire you from that particular job if the BGV check is not running green, right? So that is also one of the scenario. So last year, I think, in emphasis, many of the employees uh, were actually fired because of the fake experience that they had shown. And Emphasis is just one of the name. There are other companies also where they have got very stringent with respect to background verification. And if you are, giving any fake kind of experience or showing fake documentations, so it is very easy for companies these days that they will come to know, you know, that this particular person uh, is not, up to the mark, is not having a proper relevant genuine experience, and it's just a fake experience. Okay, now think from one more scenario, one more angle. Okay, let's say if the documentations are also done, the fake experience could not be caught via documentation. Now when you are actually starting to work in your, daily routine, daily roles and responsibilities, you are being assigned tasks, so you won't be able to complete those particular tasks because you don't have any kind of practical experience, right? Then again, that company might take a strict action for you, or they might, put you in the PIP kind of a thing, performance need to be improvement, these kind of programs, so that you would be given 3 months of, or 4 months, depending on the organization to organization structure, and you would be asked that yes, okay, you have this particular time, you need to improve. If you don't improve, then you need to search for another company. When you get a task in some particular sprint or in some particular with respect to team, so they will come to know that this particular person is not having any practical experience, and again you will end up in a suit. So that is why, we should always go with a genuine experience. If you haven't worked for some particular duration, then feel free to tell them. It's good to, honestly tell them that so and so, because of these many reasons, I didn't work. Right. So this was the agenda of today's video, that should we apply into a company with a fake experience, and how the companies are doing background verification, how they will come to know whether you are actually showing a fake experience. So how the IT companies are filtering the candidates based on their fake experience, right? So thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more updates.